How many of you have ever been to Atlanta, Georgia, where Coca-Cola is headquartered, and I believe, I'm sure it's your bottler, Coca-Cola Enterprises is headquartered? How many of you have ever been to Atlanta, Georgia? Okay. How many of you ever been to the world of Coca-Cola? A couple of hands. Okay. For those of you who don't know what the world of Coca-Cola is, it's not their corporate headquarters. What it is, it's a big fancy pavilion, huge lit signs, and a museum with nearly every Coke artifact imaginable. But the world of Coca-Cola is not just Atlanta, Georgia. The world of Killer Coke is in Colombia, where Coca-Cola bottlers are involved in the systematic intimidation, kidnapping, torture, and murder of union leaders in efforts to crush the union Sinaltonal. The world of Killer Coke is in India, Ghana, Mexico, and El Salvador, where they steal and destroy the water sources of entire villages, turning farmlands into wastelands and preventing hundreds of thousands of people from getting access to drinkable water. The world of Killer Coke is throughout Europe, Latin America, Asia, the US, and Canada, where they aggressively market against junk food legislation aimed at protecting kids, while at the same time they aggressively market nutritionally worthless and damaging soft drinks that health experts say help fuel the childhood high blood pressure, obesity, and diabetes epidemics. It's also a world where racial discrimination persists and where whistleblowers who try to stand up and protect the integrity of the company are scorned and fired. The reality is, and when I say this next statement, it's on stickers, I say it on national TV, and I challenge you, Coca-Cola, to sue me for libel. If I can't back up this next statement, sue me. You've got all these high-priced lawyers, sue me. But truth is a great defense, and that's why I don't care. The reality is that the world of Coca-Cola is a world full of lies, deception, immorality, corruption, and widespread labor, human rights, and environmental abuses. It's also a world where top executives operate in a culture of unbridled greed, giving themselves hundreds of millions of dollars in bonuses and stock options while laying off thousands of employees and turning other employees into non-employees called subcontracted workers that receive minimal pay, have no job security, have no future with the company, and are fired when they try to join the union. When people think of the Coca-Cola company, they should think of a company that has inflicted great hardship and despair upon many people and communities throughout the world. And when consumers see Coca-Cola beverages and Coca-Cola ads, they should think of crimes and misconduct so unthinkable that all of Coke's products become undrinkable. Coca-Cola is just like the big tobacco companies. It spends billions of dollars every year to create an image or reality that has nothing to do with the ugly reality that is the company. Now, as I talk about Coca-Cola's complicity in human rights abuses in Colombia, I don't want you to think that this is unbelievable what this guy's saying. This is an aberration. This can't be true. Let me read you the back of a booklet. It's called Soft Drink Hard Labor, and it will happen to be published in 1987 in London, England by the Latin America Bureau. Well-documented case in the 70s and 80s. For 9 years, the 450 workers at the Coca-Cola bottling plant in Guatemala City fought a battle with their employers for their jobs, their trade union, and their lives. 3 times they occupied the plant. On the last occasion for 13 months. 3 general secretaries of the union were murdered and 5 other workers killed. 4 more were kidnapped and have disappeared. Against all the odds, they survived, thanks to their own extraordinary courage and help from fellow trade unionists in Guatemala and around the world. A huge international campaign of protests and boycotts was central to their struggle. As a result, the Coca-Cola workers forced concessions from one of the world's largest multinational food giants and kept the Guatemalan trade union movement alive through a dark age of government repression.